All right, we have Stifler here. Ask everyone to rate their looks on a scale of 1 to 10. We're going to go around the table on this. Go ahead.
10.
We're rating our own look? Is that what?
Yeah.
Like objectively.
Your looks. Nick.
10.
I hate this question. How about 0?
Don't be obnoxious.
Yeah.
Don't be obnoxious.
All right, fine. 8.
Okay.
I don't know. I hate that question.
Why?
Because it's so like shallow and stupid. And
Would you date a guy who's shorter than you?
Absolutely. No, because shorter than me. I'm 5'5".
Would you date a guy who's shorter than you?
Yes.
No, you
Stop the cap.
No, you wouldn't. You would not.
I don't know.
Okay.
Why are you so shallow?
I don't know.
I would say probably 7.5 to 8.
I'd say around 7, 8.
6 to 7, but I think 7 when I smile.
I freaking love your answers so much. I love your answers.
Chase, what about you?
7.5, 8 on a good day.
I give myself 6.5 on a good day. I'm going to say it. Y'all, I'm not going to rate y'all, but y'all overrated yourselves a lot.
That's not very nice.
Why? It's just
I
live in reality.
I heard 2 10s right off the bat.
2 10s off the bat.
Perfect. I'm not saying you guys are ugly, but like, gets to me when every freaking time like half the panel rates themselves 10s.
Do you think all women should be 10s? Consider themselves 10s?
No.
You too, since you're the 10s?
Do I think that all women should consider themselves as 10s?
Looks-wise.
Looks-wise? I think that how you perceive yourself is all about your self-worth, and like your looks follow from that. Like my looks have grown as my self-worth has grown, so I think it's all connected.
Wait, your looks have grown?
Like I feel like my looks have improved as my self-worth has improved.
You improve your feminine energy, you look more attractive.
Yes, Like, do I have more to go? Like, yeah, maybe I could be an 11. Like, who knows?
No, that's not how this works.
That's right.
You said 10 is maxed out. 10, it's a 10 out of 10.
I think that every woman can get to a point where they perceive themselves as a 10, and it's a worthy goal to do.
How do you think the average man?
In looks.
How do you think the average man would rate you out of 10?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Wait, but you think all women?
I think looks is very subjective.
But so should all women view themselves as 10s in terms of their looks, physical appearance?
I think that every woman should work on viewing themselves as a 10. I don't think that from the beginning, maybe from the beginning they feel like a 10.
For men too? For men too? For men too?
Like, should men perceive themselves as 10s?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't speak for men.
Okay.
Men can do whatever they want.
Well, how would you have responded if Brian said that
I'm a 10.
He was a 10?
I wouldn't. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because I want someone who's like confident.
I'm not gonna
it's not about
you down.
the confident thing.
And also real though, but like at the same time, I think there's many factors that go into a 10. Like there's
No, but it's just looks,
just purely
just
physical
attractiveness.
well,
freaking women,
like,
dude.
I don't know.
Wouldn't the confident thing be like, I acknowledge that I'm not amongst the most physically attractive people in the world. I'm a 6, I'm a 7. I'm confident in that. I don't feel bad about my physical appearance, but I also acknowledge that I'm not on par with the most beautiful models in the entire world. If you say you're a 10, that means that you view your own self-assessment of your physical attractiveness is that I am on par with the most beautiful people in the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not just I'm on par with the most beautiful people in the world. It's I am equal to the most beautiful people in the world.
I don't know why you want so badly for girls to bring their numbers down.
Because
why is that so like?
It's a question
and for you to say that we overrated us is so ridiculous to me.
How's that ridiculous?
Because you don't even think of yourself as a 10, but yeah, you're trying to tell us what we are.
Yeah, because I have eyeballs and.
I think there's a difference. Beauty is the eye of the beholder. Confident and not realistic.
Ladies, the point that Brian's making is if you took 1,000 men and you all lined up in front of 1,000 men, and then you collected each of their ratings, so to speak. The point that Brian's making is your ratings of yourselves would probably differ from 1,000 men's. If you took the average of all of them, 1,000 men's ratings.
Yes, I agree with that statement.
I'm not saying that I'm a 10, by the way. I already answered this.
Was the question how do men perceive my looks, or how do I
no,
rate
but it's
myself?
How do you objectively rate yourself?
When it comes to this question, let's say for example, there is to some degree objectivity when it comes to beauty. So I can't say I have $1 million in my bank account, and if I have $0 in my bank account, just because I think it or say it doesn't mean that it's true. There is objectivity to beauty.
There's also convention to beauty.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So how are we like?
Well, okay. So I have a question for you. You have lip filler, correct?
No.
You don't have lip filler?
I got lip filler done 2 years ago.
Okay.
So maybe there's some left over from it, but it's just the way that I do my makeup.
Oh, okay. You had lip filler previously.
Yes,
though.
I did. Yeah.
Okay. And so do you feel that, like, if you were a 10, why the need for, were you not a 10 back then?
I think that I've grown
Looks-wise?
in confidence and in looks, yeah, since then.
Okay.
Yeah. But I
just-
think if I perceive myself as a 10, then I like push myself to get to those standards every day. So I don't think it's helpful. You know what? At the end of the day, I don't really give a fuck what true is. I give more of a fuck of what is effective.
You don't give a fuck about what truth is?
I care more about what's going to be effective for me than what
Okay.
I care about being right or whatever, because right is the perception of what? Like, what is that even? You know what I'm saying? Like, according
Objective
to
reality.
objective reality, according to who? To you? To the thousands of men? to
No,
me?
objective reality isn't according to anybody. I mean, objective reality is just objective reality.
But who decides what objective reality
Well, so
is?
for
God?
example, beauty is based on symmetry and the golden ratio,
Okay.
right? That's objective reality. That's not something like it's nobody's perception. Like, for example,
Oh, okay. So if that's the question, my answer is I don't give a fuck.
okay,
In the beginning of the podcast, who rated us? I heard you call numbers out. Was that
some
something?
random
was a-
super
okay.
chat.
It was a chat.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, the reason why, I guess to answer your question, why I think it's important that both men and women, you guys got to go. You can't stay another like 15, 20 minutes?
No, maybe another 5, but 15,
Okay, we'll do
20,
another
no.
5.
We could do another 5.
We can do another 5. Fuck it.
Well, now
Look.
4.
Okay, all right.
You got 4 minutes.
I got 4 minutes to make
To
my
save the
fucking-
world.
To save the fucking world.
Make your points while they're here,
Yeah.
dude.
So
Clock's ticking.
I think that both men and women need to be operating in reality when it comes to their own self-assessment of their
Yes.
attractiveness in the dating marketplace. If you're, no offense, delusional when it comes to your own physical attractiveness, I'm not saying you guys are unattractive or ugly. You're both attractive women. But however, if you think you are a 10, aka you are perfect, you are on par with the most beautiful women in the world, that is delusion. And I think I'm an average looking dude. I don't think I'm anything special. You were trying to say, well, how can you, as a guy who's not a 10, claim that we're not 10? First off, you need not be, in order to see something, you need not be that thing which you don't see in that person to be able to see it. I think it's very important that both men and women are realistic about where they stand when it comes to their place in the dating marketplace. If you don't, I think that's where women typically end up getting burned by dudes, because if you think you're hot shit, you're gonna get like these guys, you're gonna think you're deserving or entitled to a certain caliber of guy. And if you think you're a 10, surely then you must be deserving of a guy who's a 10. Now, you might hold this view that you hold for yourself to the way that the 10 in your, okay.
Brian, let me land it for you. I know,
Sure,
I know
yeah,
what you're
yeah,
picking. I know what you're putting down. I'm picking it up. A lot of women think that they're 10s. A lot of women also end up sleeping with dudes that are 10s because those guys will sleep with them. Women, it reaffirms this belief in their minds. Oh, I'm a 10. And then these women hit cold, hard reality when they realize, oh, the kinds of guys that I could sleep with are not the kinds of guys that I can lock down for marriage. This happens across society as a whole. You shaking your head at that? You don't think so?
That's not my experience.
Look,
It might not be your experience, but
Yeah.
it is for a lot of women. A lot of women, a lot of women go through.
reevaluate their self-identity.
They should, and a lot of women will be with guys that are very high value who want to sleep with
Are they
them.
high value or are they good looking?
Just hold on, both. A lot of women will sleep with guys that are quote unquote high value who want to sleep with them,
Yeah.
but then they find the cold hard reality when it's time to settle down. They realize, oh, those guys that I liked that were willing to sleep with me in the past won't marry me, and that's
Yeah.
a hard realization for a lot of women.
I think that's a good argument for saying maybe you shouldn't think if that's what's happening because of your belief that you're a 10, then you shouldn't do that.
Yes.
My experience of believing that I'm a 10 is like 5 years ago. Most women are insecure. The most beautiful women in the world are insecure. So to me, the way that I combated that insecurity was saying, I'm hot shit. I'm the baddest bitch in this room. I'm a 10. And every time I walk into a room, I walk into a room with 10 energy. As I walk into a room with 10 energy, it attracts different energy because it's not really just about your looks. It's about the kind of person that you are, the energy that you bring, your confidence. And when you think, oh, I'm a 10, my looks are a 10, and then I start acting like it. I start doing my hair differently. I start doing my makeup differently. I start getting actually physically more beautiful. And I know I will become even more beautiful as I continue to think, I'm a 10, I'm a bad bitch. So that's effective for me. If it's ineffective for me to think that I'm a 10 and I'm ending up in these weird situations, then I should reevaluate and look at reality. But in my experience, it's only benefited me and helped me become more and more physically beautiful and better overall.
Wait, question for you on this.
Cheers to that.
So you're saying that you will become more physically beautiful.
I mean, just given the track record, I think.
Okay, I have a question. Are you more physically attractive now at 31 than you were at 21?
Yes.
Will you be more physically attractive at 41 than you are now?
I think that my mindset should stay the same. I think maybe for a 41-year-old, can I compare myself to someone who's 25?
No, at
Beauty
41 versus
fades or whatever.
At 31. Well, you said you're more physically attractive now at 31 versus at when you were 21.
Yes.
And do you think you'll be more physically attractive in 10 years at 41 versus now at 31?
Well, I think as we age, like our physical beauty does decrease, So
Sure,
when
yeah.
I'm 41, I mean, I hope to be a hot 41-year-old. Am I going to be as like youthful and like whatever as I am now? I don't know. Probably not, to be honest.
Okay.
But I still think my internal like posturing should be I'm a 10. I'm a bad bitch.
This is one of the few things you've said on this podcast that we can absolutely agree on. On the last
Agreed.
podcast, on the last podcast I did with Brian, I said that it's really important for women to cultivate that inner beauty, and I can tell that's something that you've worked on, and it's something that you're intentional about, and I salute you for that.
Thank you.
There's especially, we live in a world where there's a lot of women out there that are filled with insecurity and self-loathing. I think those are, just objectively speaking, those aren't attractive traits.
Yeah.
I don't think delusional self-confidence is good, but I
course
think
not.
I think healthy self-confidence is very attractive, and I salute that. It's
Thank you.
it's a good trait to develop.
Thank you.
And I made this point on the last podcast. As a woman cultivates that inner beauty and also that inner femininity, that does also make her more beautiful externally. So I agree with you on that.
Yeah, and just kind of, I guess, to land the plane on what I was saying before. So if I had to distill down one of the primary issues in dating that I see, so women want the best man that they can get. Women will confuse sexual attraction for relationship attraction. So men will sleep with women who they would never have a relationship with, just solely based on the metric of looks. So a woman can sleep with a guy who's out of her league in terms of looks, status, etc., money. That guy's never going to commit to her. So if you women can sleep up, but you probably aren't going to like marry up. So if you think you're a 10, I think it's important to be based in reality when it comes to your own self-assessment of your physical appearance. Because if you think you're hot shit, and let's say you're not, you're going to be chasing after dudes who will gladly sleep with you, who are really attractive guys, who make a lot of money, who have high status. These men will never give you the ring. That's why you have women who are trapped in situationships with dudes who will never give you commitment. That's why I think it's very important to have an accurate self-assessment of your own attractiveness, your own physical attractiveness in the dating marketplace. That way here's the guy who I think I can realistically get a relationship from. Because men will gladly sleep with you, keep you on the back burner, just string you along, sleep with you. They'll never give you commitment. And that's why I think it's important that both men and women are aware of where they stand in the sexual marketplace, the dating marketplace. So your league is the men who will marry you, not the men who will sleep with you. And as women, typically I think women, you'll break a rule to sleep with a guy. He has to be, you'll break your rule like for sleeping with a guy quick if he's really physically attractive. Whereas men, it tends to be the reverse. So men will sleep with women of a, let's say, men will sleep with women that they would never be in a relationship with. They'll sleep with you, but just based on your looks alone, they would never be in a relationship with you. Whereas I think it's typically it's the reverse for women. In order for you to sleep with a guy, he needs to be at least physically attractive enough for you to be in a relationship with him. So anyways, I know you guys have to go.